All right, everybody. So welcome. We're going to move today through a slow flow, all levels practice. For today's practice, you'll be needing 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, anything that can elevate the ground a little bit, like thick textbooks, paper towel rolls, pasta boxes, anything that you have around or available that could just elevate the ground a little bit will be ideal for today's flow and sequence. We'll be moving through some postures that it will be nice and supportive to have those props in order to sort of explore and experience what would be best and what feels better for the body. And I personally love props because we're not the same every day. And so our practice is not going to be the same every day. And by having those props accessible in our practice, we have the opportunity to just figure it out as we go. And then if we do need some support or do we feel like we need some modifications, that we'll have them available. We'll be working a lot with the lower back, the hips, and the lower body today. And so I'm going to invite you all to begin on your backs in Shavasana. But we'll come into a reclined butterfly. And so I'll just begin to transition into that position, and I'll guide you into it from a seated position, actually. So you're welcome to bring your blocks close by. You're welcome to plant your feet on the ground so that you feel a little bit more connected to the earth. Maybe even grab onto the shins or into the back of the thighs and feel the sit bones grounding onto the mat. Now, once you're there, you're invited to just use your core, maybe simply letting go of the legs or still holding onto the legs. And as you round the spine, you can slowly begin to crawl down and lay onto your back. And once the head releases, you can walk your feet back towards your glutes. And then eventually bring the soles of the feet to touch. And as your knees open for that to happen, you can reach for your blocks and then place them underneath the knees or slightly underneath the thighs. And you're welcome to keep them as they are, stacked and rooted with a long platform on the ground. You're also welcome to angle them in so the edges of the block are not pressing against your skin. So these are 2 options for you. I invite you to just check in with yourself and notice what feels better for you. And then once you find that position or that place of comfort, you can just let go of the blocks and shift into bringing your hands closer to the abdomen. And maybe at this time, you can bring both hands over the pelvic bones, slightly above maybe into the mid-abdomen. Maybe you can bring one palm into the lower abdomen and one palm towards the upper abdomen. So those are 3 options for you. Notice what feels better. And more importantly, ask yourself and inquire about what feels more comfortable for your shoulders as well. Take your time to arrive. Take your time to settle. As you arrive into the position of your choosing, I invite you to gather a full breath in through the nose and then sigh it out through the mouth. Let's do this a couple more times together. Deep breath in. 2 more like this. Final moments. As you exhale, feel the body gravitating towards the earth. So notice where in your back body you're coming in contact with the yoga mat, the surface that you're using to practice with today. See if you can give yourself permission to just utilize the support. Give into it. Your eyes can remain open, or you can also close them. That feels like it will support your practice of gaining presence. Knowing that this asana practice really is meant to cultivate that presence by connecting mind with body, body with breath. And through those, we connect to the infinite source of bliss, strength, courage, power within. Inside of every practice and inside of every space that I offer, I'd like to also offer a reminder that you are here to work with your body rather than against it. And then with that comes the release or the softening of the grip around any expectations of what your practice will look like or should look like, what you like to accomplish or not. But rather enter into this practice with this open space of inquisitive nature. Here to notice what I have to work with, and then use that to create an experience or practice that meets me where I am. A practice that allows me to nourish, to ground, and to perhaps even elevate, broadening my conscious awareness so that I can see more of myself, so that I can see more of this moment. And lastly, there's a reminder that within this practice, there is no need for perfection, but only an opportunity to notice progress. Maybe you can compare the progress with a few practices before, or simply how you move on the mat, which is a reflection of how we move in our lives. Notice how you are progressing in terms of awareness and presence. And yet, keep a non-judgmental awareness, embracing all that you can see simply as information. Today I'm here, yesterday there, tomorrow, who knows, and all is okay. Let that sink into your body and notice how it lands in your body. Here to work with your body, not against it. Here to not carry expectations and rather just notice, just inquire who I am and what is my experience today. Here to notice my progress. Not here to focus on perfecting it. Anything. Perfection comes with just accepting where I am. Walking myself gently to the best version of myself, my own time and pace. I invite you to take a couple deep breaths, connecting to that life force that potentially feels like as if it's pushing against the walls of your skin from the inside. And as you exhale, everything begins to soften, everything begins to come closer together. I invite you to take 3 more breaths like this. Every breath is experiencing a multidimensionality of you. Every exhale is just a sense of ease, a sense of release, a sense of arriving furthermore on the mat, furthermore on this moment. 1 more breath like this. Continue with that steady, conscious breath technique as you begin to wiggle your fingertips around. Maybe even close and open the fist a few times. You can even reach your arms up and over the head and begin to stretch the body from the waist up to the crown of the head. Maybe as you feel ready, you can circle the arms around and reach for the blocks that lie underneath your legs. Hold on to the blocks as you begin to draw the knees and thighs towards each other, planting the soles of the feet on the mat here. You can then bring the blocks onto closer to the top of the mat. So just a little bit there, pushing them with the hands. And eventually invite you to bring the arms out to the sides and the teeth. And then heel toe your feet apart. You might come even to the edges of your mat when you're ready. As you feel the soles of the feet coming into contact with the edges of your mat, draw the knees to kiss. They might touch, they might not. That's okay. Don't force it. Just notice where naturally your body lands. invite you to press into the soles of the feet, slightly lift your glutes and lower back off the mat. And then see if you can scoop more of the lower back to press into the mat. So the tailbone scoops underneath the spine slightly. One more long inhale here. As you feel ready with your next exhale, just windmill the knees over to the left side. Maybe a block will be right there, allowing the left knee to be supported slightly, or you can also lift it and just move it away. As your feet roll into the arches, only your legs windmill down, and the stance will remain quite wide. 2 more breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling. Full breath in through the nose. Exhale. Full breath in. On your next inhale, come back to center. Noticing the soles of the feet on the mat, just pause there. Let the spine and the legs neutralize. As you feel ready, using your next exhale, you can windmill the knees over to the right side. Maybe a block will be there to catch your legs, or you can just go ahead and remove it so that the knees gravitate further more towards the ground. The feet will roll into the arches. You'll still keep those stands quite wide. Only the knees move towards the sides. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Final breath. On your next inhale, you can come back to center, just noticing the soles of the feet on the mat, neutralizing the spine, the hips, your legs. As you feel ready and complete, you're welcome to shift into a happy baby's pose, pulling the thighs towards the stomach, maybe on the sides towards the ribs, and you can grab onto the back of the thighs, back of the calves, slightly lift even higher to the ankles, or grabbing onto the arches or toes in both feet. This may require for you to drop the lowest part of your back, bring the thighs into a wider range of distance. And then I invite you to focus more on softening the shoulders down towards the mat. And so if that means that you can grab onto the back of the legs instead, or bring the feet a little bit closer together, modify and adjust the posture so that the shoulders can meld away and the collarbones can spread apart. 3 more breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale fully. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhaling fully. Final breath. As you feel ready, hug the knees and thighs towards your chest. Give yourself a loving hug. Maybe as you find your next exhale, you can pull the thighs a little closer to you and then draw the forehead towards the knees. You're welcome to rock forward and back, lift to build momentum and lift to a seated position. You're also welcome to just drop into one side, push yourself up, and we'll meet in a tabletop position when you're ready. So as you come into the mat, you may roll over the legs, find yourself in palms and knees. As you come into this all fours position, you're invited to spread the fingers wide apart. See the color of your mat between each finger. Allow the shoulders to be on top of the wrists, hips over knees. Lightly tuck your toes under if that feels supportive. Otherwise, you're welcome to untuck and press through the tops of the feet. On your next breath in, I invite you to drop the belly down. Hold the shoulder blades together behind you. Lift the crown and tailbone high. Then exhale, curling into the spine, holding the navel towards set. Tuck the chin and the tailbone underneath. Inhale, drop the belly. Shoulder blades kiss. Exhale, hold the navel. Push the mat away through the palms and tops of the feet. 3 more breaths and movements like this. So as you start to feel your body as you move and engage in these 2 postures, what are you noticing today? Perhaps your eyes can stay open, or you can also close them if that helps and supports your practice of presence today. Both are fun, no right or wrong way. Your practice, your body. Yet as you feel invited or curious to explore with intuitive movements, go ahead and find anything that feels good for you today. I'm personally going to focus a lot on the outer hip and the lower back. So I'm going to start rocking my hips left to right here. Noticing the outer hip as I move from side to side. Maybe even sensations all along the outside of my thighs, along the IT bands. Perhaps after a few rounds, you'd like to move with me in drawing circles around with the hips and knees. Rocking the body from side to side, around and back, all the way forward. And this can be an opportunity for you to also explore movement in the spine, the neck. As you feel ready, you can switch directions with that same movement. So finding balance through our practice. This might feel different than the previous one, so just notice what is real for you right now. If this movement doesn't serve you, know that at any time you can stop and switch, come into whatever feels better for you. Personally, from here, I'm just going to take a moment to find anything that feels good. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what am I carrying with me? What are the sensations present? And how can I attune to them or tend to them by inviting movement, awareness, or breath into those regions? Last few breaths here. As you feel ready, I invite you to come into a neutral tabletop. And from here, we're just going to extend the right leg back behind us. Toes will point down. That right leg will come parallel to the mat. And then you'll invite it to really scan the body from the outer to the inner hip and feel the right inner thigh spinning towards your left one. As you press your right heel back, you flex the right foot a little more. And find another full inhale and exhale here. As you feel ready with your next exhale, invite the thigh to draw in towards the chest and the knee towards your nose. Round your spine. Inhale, right leg extends back once more. Exhale, knee to nose, thigh comes to the chest. 3 more like this. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to contract and curl. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to contract and curl. Last one. Go ahead and extend your right leg all the way back once more, checking with that intention of spinning the right inner thigh towards you. From there, cross that right leg into the outside of your mat on the left side, so over the left leg. As you keep your toes tucked, can you press your right heel back? Then from there, look over your left shoulder, find a little bit of a side body bend and twist here. Full breath in through the nose. Full breath out. Beautiful, everyone. Bring the gaze forward when you're ready. Go ahead and float that right leg all the way back behind you once more and receive a full breath in. This time, right knee comes to right elbow. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Twice more like this. Continue to push the mat away through the palms. As you exhale, drawing the knee towards that right elbow. Final one here. As you feel ready, step your right foot outside of that right palm. This is a great place to invite blocks. I encourage you to bring them in the higher level and then rest your palms here. From there, let the hips come forward. See where the edge is in your body today. And by that, I mean that we can start to notice where the body begins to push back a little bit. Usually we find a sense of resistance, a little tension in the muscles. So as you notice that, can you breathe into that space? 4 more breaths like this. Final full breaths. As you feel ready, we'll begin our transition. So first, begin to lift your hips a little higher. Maybe even stack your hips over the left knee. And using your blocks, tuck your left toes under and lift your left. Take a gentle bend on that back knee, just enough to push forward and step to the top of your mat. Keeping feet wide apart, you can then begin to bend your knees a lot here. Try to find contact between your belly, maybe even chest and thighs. And then as you shift the weight forward and back a few times between the toes and your heels, you perhaps are noticing the backs of the legs engaging. There might be some differences between right and left side, so what is happening for you right now? As you feel ready, find center. Rooting through both feet equally, keeping that nice bend at the knees, you can grab onto opposite elbows. Let gravity do the work here for you, so your only active work is staying grounded and distributing the weight equally through both feet. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. As you feel ready, arms will release and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you can rise up to a standing posture. Once at the top, just go and drop your right ear towards the right shoulder. Roll the chin down towards the chest, bring it over to the left side and back. Find another full circle around just like this. Once your chin drops down towards your chest, pause there. Slowly begin to lift the front of the head towards the heavens. Inhale, shoulders will lift up. Exhale, roll them back and down 2 more times. Inhale, deeply. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, exhale, sweep around and above you. Exhale, folding forward. So hinging at the hips, knees can stay bent. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. As you exhale, palms will drop down. The right foot will step back, then the left foot for plank position. Receive a full breath in that plank position. Hold it as you exhale. Continue to breathe here, feeling the length between heels and crown of your head. If at any point you need to drop the knees, you're welcome to. Let's take another 2 full breaths, pressing through the palms. Feel yourself lifting away from the mat. Last breath in. Exhale, lift back for downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet if you like, bending one knee at a time and feeling the stretch or any sensations that come into your body. What is real for you right now? Allow the palms to press down through the finger pads. Maybe a light bend on the elbows can stay, yet allow the chest to be the one that carries the strength of pushing the mat away. See if you can keep your head between the biceps. Maybe as you lean towards one arm, your ear or the side of the head can touch each arm. As you feel ready from stillness, roll forward into a plank position. And then exhale, drop your knees for tabletop, all fours. Make sure your hands are directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. From there, left side. Float the left leg up behind you. Toes will point down to the mat. As that left leg comes parallel to the earth, feel yourself connecting to the inner and outer hip of that left leg. Bring your awareness into your left inner thigh, and then spin it towards your right side. From there, inhale to find length. And then exhale, draw the thigh inward towards the belly, knee towards your chest. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, curling into the spine, press the mat away. Inhale, lengthening back. Exhale, curling into the spine. Last 2 times. Last one here. As you feel ready, left leg will extend behind you. And then just jump over the right leg to cross over and bring the toes of the left foot into the outside of your mat on the right side. Once you're there, pressing through the heel, you might even feel a light stretch on the calf. We'll go over the right shoulder all the way behind you and find a little bit of a side body bend and twist there. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more like this. As you feel ready, gaze comes forward. Left leg floats back, parallel to the mat. This time, as you exhale, draw the knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, left leg back, squaring the hips. Exhale, knee towards the left elbow. 3 more like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Final time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Slowly step outside of that left hand as you feel ready. Great place for your blocks to come in. One more time, bring them in the higher level. And once you're supported, you can then release the hips closer to the ground or simply forward, allowing yourself to explore and notice, where is my edge? Where does my body begin to push back? Where do I feel the resistance or the tension? And stay with that and breathe. Acknowledging that this place is where my body says, I'm here, I've made it. Let's pause, let's breathe. Be tending to yourself for the practice. Last 2 breaths here. As you feel ready to transition into those blocks, just begin to elevate the hips and just move them a little bit farther back. Maybe align hips with the right knee. And from there, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Light bend just to push and step forward, wide legs on the mat. As you bend the knees, let the belly drape over the thighs, maybe grabbing onto opposite elbows and switching the arm. that was on top before in the other side. 3 more breaths. Inhale deeply for 1. Exhale fully. Inhaling 2. Exhaling. Inhaling 3. From the release, the arms down towards the ground and just roll vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing the head to be the last thing to go. As you rise, left ear drops to the left shoulder, roll the chin down to the chest, and just continue to rotate the neck. One relax. As the chin comes back to the chest, just pause it for a moment, and eventually slowly lifting the crown of the head towards the heavens. Inhale, shoulders lift up. Exhale, roll them back down. Twice more. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time I invite you to heel toe your feet together or just about hip width apart. And then interlacing the hands behind you. See if you can bring the palms to touch. From there, elbows will begin to lengthen behind you. And as your arms pull away from the body, maybe there's a light bend that stays on your elbows. Try to focus on shoulder blades squeezing or kissing behind you. Then from there, maybe as you tuck your tailbone under and inhale to help you find it back there. As you exhale, fold over your thighs, keeping hands interlaced. 3 full breaths. Deep inhale. Exhaling. Fullest breath. Exhale. Last one here. Palms are going to come into the lower back and then slowly release them towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift up. Exhale, palms come to the mat and the left foot steps back. Then your right foot find your plank pose. Second, shoulders over your wrists. Heels over toes, find your breath here. If at any time you need to drop the knees, you're welcome to. As you feel ready, find your last deep inhale here. As you exhale, lift your hips for downward facing dog. Find stillness in that down dog, but feel free to keep a light bend on the knees, maybe even lift your heels so that you can focus on lifting your tailbone at the highest peak. Final breath. First vinyasa of today, so we're gonna roll forward with the inhale, and as we exhale, drop knees, chest, chin inside of the thumbs. Inhale, sliding forward, drop the hips, lift the heart, cobra. Exhale, release the heart, tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. As you feel ready, begin to walk forward, step by step. We'll meet at the top of the mat in Tadasana. So as you arrive into your forward fold, take your time, then roll up slowly, knead in mountain pose. So find your mountain pose, see if you can shift the weight to the heels. Lift your toes up, spread them wide, and then re-land them on the earth. Then from there, push the mat away, feel that energy rising through the backs of your legs. Tuck your tailbone under, face forward. Let the side body lengthen, yet shoulders pull down and back. As the crown of the head lifts, chin comes parallel to your yoga. Hold back here, connecting to the earth, your present, or grounded. On your next inhale, arms lift above your head. Exhale, folding forward, Vinyasa. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, dropping palms, right foot will step back, release the knee, untuck your toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, low crescent lunge. Exhale, palms drop, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward into a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, hugging elbows towards your ribs. Inhale, cobra. Zip your thighs towards the midline. Exhale, release and push back downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats up high, toes point down. Exhale, right foot comes forward, back knee will remain lifted. Inhale, in this lunge, just lengthening through the spine. Exhale, holding the posture. One more full breath. As you exhale, light bend on the back knee and push to step forward with Vinyasa. Inhale, come to stand, arms will lift above your head, palms will meet. Exhale, hubs to heart center, pause here before the blessing. On your next inhale, sweep the arms above your head. As you exhale, fold forward with Vinyasa. Inhale, find a halfway lift, flat back. As you exhale, palms to the mat, left foot steps back, release the knee and untuck your toes. Inhale, arms sweep overhead, low lunge. Exhale, palms will drop, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to your lower leg. Inhaling for cobra, lift the kneecaps to protect your lower back. Exhale, release and push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats up high, toes point down. Exhale, left foot steps forward, back knee will remain lifted. Deep inhale through the nose. Fold as you exhale. One more long inhale. As you exhale, stepping the right foot forward with Vinyasa. Inhale, rising up to stand, palms meet. Exhale, palms to the heart space. Move through that breath to movement on both sides, keeping the breath flowing and the movement flowing between the sides. Stay with me. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, release the knee. Inhale, arms lift up, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down through knees, chest, chin. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats up high. Exhale, right foot comes forward, back knee is lifted. Full breath here. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, rising up to stand, palms meet. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back, drop the back knee. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra, lifting the heart. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats up high. Exhale, left foot forward, back knee is lifted, pausing there, take a full breath. Exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, come to stand, arms lift overhead, palms meet. This time, exhale, palms to the heart center. Wing through that, adding on a few standing postures. Inhaling, arms lift up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right leg back, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can either hold this down dog for a moment or inhale to find your plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana this time. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. From here together, inhale, right leg floats up high. Exhale, knee touches nose, pause there. Inhale, right leg falls back. Exhale, knee touches nose. One more time, inhale, right leg comes back. Exhale, knee touches nose. Step forward, back knee is lifted. Inhale, high lunge, arms lift overhead, just pausing, shoulders land over hips. Feel that left inner thigh spinning towards your right. You've already done that before, okay? As the right knee comes forward, it stays over ankle, never beyond that. It could be a little farther back. And then finding the elevation of your spine, tuck your tailbone under. Full breath in, full breath out. Just one more long inhale here. And breath out. As you feel ready, twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. Open the chest over to the right side. And then imagine you're being pulled through the right hand behind you. So rather than leaning forward, can you stay lifted? Can you feel that left inner thigh spinning even more towards your right? Right knee coming forward, tracing a line towards your right knee. 2 more breaths. Final breath. As you feel ready, both arms will lift up and over the head. Exhale, spin the back heel down, warrior 2, open to the long edge of your mat. Bring the hips to fully open, the chest to fully open, then the gaze can turn forward. 3 more breaths here, inhale. Exhale, right knee comes over the right ankle or a little bit farther back, never beyond. Full breath here. Exhale, making sure that I'm rooting into both feet, carrying equal weight through them. Final breath here through the nose. And out. As you inhale, reverse the warrior, lifting up before going back, and then go ahead and straighten that right leg. Reverse triangle. We're gonna flip onto the right heel so the right toes lift off the mat. And then we're gonna turn this right leg and right foot in so it becomes parallel to the left foot as well. We're gonna slowly rotate the body towards the left leg, and as we fold, we're gonna reach for either the calf, the shin, or the outer line of that left foot. As you feel ready, take an inhale to lengthen the heart towards that left foot. As you exhale, see if you can bow a little bit closer to it and fold. One more time like this, inhale to find a little bit more length. And then exhale to fold. Slowly from here, that right palm will come to the center in front of the long edge of your mat. Then slowly left hand will continue to walk, and as you frame the right foot at the top of your mat, we're gonna spin onto those left toes, so we're coming into a runner's lunge here. 1. As you feel ready, shift the weight, maybe reach for your blocks so that left leg floats in the air for warrior 3. Now you've been here before you were in your right knee. Now we're standing onto that right foot. So as we press the mat away through the right foot, can you feel the left leg extending behind you? Always finding contact between the inner and outer hip of that left leg. Spin the left inner thigh towards your right. Feel the hips squaring here. You got this. Just 2 more breaths. As you feel ready, slowly with an inhale, can you kick your left heel back? And as you exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, thigh towards the belly and chest. Pause there around your spine. Then release the left foot down towards the mat. On your next inhale, lift all the way up to standing. Palms will meet above you. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, finding the length of your body. Then exhale, the left foot will step back. Release the left knee down to your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over the head, low crescent lunge. Exhale, palms will drop to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. You're welcome to hold here or move through your vinyasa. With your next inhale, roll to plank. Exhale, flowing down with the breath. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lifting the hips back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg floats up high. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine here. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, round your spine here. One more time, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee touches nose. This time, step forward, coming into a high crescent lunge when you're ready. Arms will lift up and over the head. As you begin to soften the shoulders down your back, feel them stacking over your hips. Maybe even bring your hands into your hips and trace the hips to square by bringing awareness into that right leg, inner and outer hip. And from there, spinning the right inner thigh towards your left. You have control of the body here. And as the left knee comes forward, you place it over the ankle or a little bit far back. One more deep inhale here. Exhale it completely before you begin to breathe into that twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. You're doing an amazing job. Keep going. Full breath here. Exhaling. Now imagine you're being pulled through that left hand. Inhale deeply. Exhaling. One more breath here. As you feel ready, both arms will lift up and over, high crescent lunge. Exhale, spin the right heel down, come into warrior two in the opposite side. Hips and shoulders are open to the right long edge of your mat. Then the head and the gaze can turn forward. And as you find your posture, can you also find your awareness? Begin from there, rooting into both feet equally. Pressing the mat away, you feel that energy engaging, your thighs are coming active, then tucking the tailbone under. And you also feel the length of your spine, your shoulders softening down. Then you reach through the fingertips a little bit wider, reach, 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 find your last breath here. As you inhale, reverse the warrior. Go ahead and straighten the left leg and keep reaching up before going back. Find a breath here in your reverse triangle. You're gonna flip onto your left heel so that the sole of the left foot is exposed. Then turn it all the way in so the left foot becomes parallel to your right. And then spin the torso towards your right side. Fold over this right leg. Inhale to find length as I grab onto my calf, shin or foot. And then exhale, folding towards the right leg once more. Fullest breath in through the nose. As you feel ready, left hand to the center of the long edge of your mat. Right palm will start to walk so that both hands can frame the front foot when you're ready. As you spin onto the back toes, you're coming into the spinner's lunge, and we're gonna reach to fly. Left leg is rooted as the right leg rises for warrior three. Shift away, find your blocks. Now you've been here before, but now we're standing rather than seating on that left knee. So we're gonna press into the left foot. And as the right leg lifts parallel to the ground, we're gonna spin the right inner thigh towards our left, do it more. Toes are pointing down and that right heel is pressing back. Take another 2 breaths here. On your next exhale, draw the right knee to the nose, thigh to belly and chest. Pause. Curl into the spine, push into your blocks. Release the right foot down to the mat, forward fold at the top. I'm going to invite you to slowly reach your hands behind the legs, calves or thighs as well. Bend your knees if you need to, but as you inhale, come into a halfway lift. And then exhale, bend your knees even more and pull yourself into a nice folded hug. You can nod your chin or nod the head fully, yes and no. As you feel ready, we're going to release the legs, palms come down towards the ground or blocks. We're going to start to bend the knees, slowly drop into the toes, lift your heels. An easy transition, possibly bringing blocks by the sides of your body. Maybe even one right underneath your seat in a middle or high or a lower level. And just find a little bit of a seat there. Once your spine is shifted, we're gonna bring the legs in front of us. And then if you need an extra support to come down to the ground, we're gonna come down fully. You can then shift, remove the prop and come onto your seat. Then from there, we're gonna come into a butterfly. Before we were reclined, now we're seated. So I invite you to first remove any extra flesh from underneath the sit bones. And then go ahead and interlace the hands underneath the toes. Pull the heart forward as the shoulders come back and find a very long inhale here. And then exhale, begin to fold. One more time, inhale to find length in the body. Exhale to hold or continue to fold. Inhale to find length in the body. Exhale to hold or continue to fold. A couple more breaths like this, whether in movement or in stillness from here on. You are the owner of your body. So notice that you can reach for what you need right now. And this is a reminder that in our lives, even when we're lacking the focus, we always have the opportunity to reach for what we need inside. Try to find your last full breath. As you feel ready, you can begin to roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. As you feel complete, draw the knees and thighs to close. And just in the same way that we went down, we can come down now. Hands can stay underneath the thighs, or they can hold onto the shins and calves. And we're just going to start to roll vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way onto our yoga. First things first, we're going to release the head and walk the feet back closer to us. And then from here, we're just going to pull the right knee into our chest. Once you're there, I invite you to flex your right ankle. And then from there, feel as if the sole of the foot could rotate to 9 o'clock, as if your toes of the left foot were pointed to 12. And so it's going to do an internal rotation with the ankle, external rotation with the right knee. And as we rotate the leg, the right sole of the foot is facing left, the right knee is facing right. And then just hover it over the left knee. Find a figure 4 with the legs. I invite you to gently place your right palm over the right thigh and then gently push it away from your belly and chest. 3 breaths here. Small breath. Final breath. I invite you to imagine that the sole of the right foot is being magnetized to the ground on the left. And as your arms come out to the sides in a T, just let the legs fall naturally, keeping the figure 4. And as they fall naturally to the left, the sole of the right foot lands on the ground. The outline and the outer line of the left leg will rest on the ground. Right knee still pointing up to the sky. You're keeping the figure 4. And we're going to tackle a little bit more of the outer hip on the right side. So now we can use the left hand. Place it directly on the thigh, where it meets the hip, or a little bit closer to the center. And then begin to push it forward and away from your chest. 3 full breaths here. Inhale. Exhaling. Full breath in. Deep inhale. As you feel ready, left arm can release back down to the ground. And I invite you to notice as your left leg is, the right one is just going to slightly lift a little bit, and then both knees and thighs as well as ankles will meet on the ground. And utilizing the core, right leg lifts first, left leg will follow. Hug your knees and thighs towards your chest here. Finding a moment of stillness, just feel the lowest part of your back, pressing into the ground. Full breath in. Full breath out. As you feel ready, right foot drops down to the ground. The knee will stay bent, and you can just hug onto your left leg. Flex the left ankle when you're ready. Imagine that rotation that we did before, So now the sole of the left foot will point to 3 o'clock, knee to 9 o'clock. So as the left foot rotates over to the right, the left knee is pointing over to the left. Slightly hover the left ankle over the right knee. Find your figure 4 here. This time, left hand can come onto your left thigh. Lightly press it and push it away. 3 full breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Fullest breath. Keep the figure 4 as the arms come out to the sides in a T. We're just going to imagine that the sole of the left foot is being magnetized to the ground on the right side, so letting the legs just fall while keeping the shape as they are. You'll notice the left foot comes to the ground. The outer line of that right leg comes to the ground. Left knee pointing up to the sky. We're still keeping the figure 4. This time the right hand can come onto your left thigh. Gently push it away. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Final and deepest breath. First thing is releasing the right arm down to the ground. Then noticing how the right leg is landed, right? We're just gonna lift the left leg a little bit, enough to bring the knee, the thigh, and the ankle to meet of both legs. And with the core, left leg lifts to center, right leg follows, this time happy baby's pose. Maybe finding stillness so that the lower back can root onto the earth. Shoulders can press down to the mat. Knees can stay deeply bent, maybe even feet come a little bit closer together. As you feel ready, I'm going to invite you to hug the knees and thighs towards your chest and just lift the legs up to the sky, perpendicular to the mat. Hands can rest down, palms facing down. Just frame your own body with your arms. You can stay here in a more gentle and supported inversion, just resting and relaxing the toes, the ankles, the knees, the thighs, the calves. You can also use your next exhale to use your core and lift the legs up and over the head for plow pose. In plow pose, I'm going to encourage you to bring the hands into your lower back. Support the lower back by just lifting the hips a little bit higher. Notice if you can relax your shoulders in a way that they pull away from the ears, and that creates a little bit more release and length in the neck. Avoid looking around and try to keep your head neutral. Maybe even just look at your own thighs. As you continue to breathe in this inversion, you're invited to really push the breath into the corners and into the walls of your body from the inside. As your hips continue to lift and high towards the sky, you're creating even more space for the spine. Find your final 2 breaths here. I invite you to slowly bring the hands down towards the ground. Palms are going to press down and use them as your brakes as you roll vertebrae by vertebrae until your hips release back down to the mat. And then bending into the knees, the soles of the feet will come to the earth. And we'll all meet here with knees bent. Inhale, press into the soles of the feet, lift your hips. Exhale, hold. Maybe interlace your hands behind you. Walk your shoulder blades closer together. Press your arms onto the mat. And again, feel the shoulders pulling away from the ears. Creating space for the neck and throat, allowing the breath to flow. If you can, see if you can press more into the feet. Lift your hips a little bit higher, yet relax your glutes. Final 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, arms will open and then hips release down to the mat. You can windmill the legs in and out or side to side if you like it. And as you feel ready, you can pause in the center, letting the lower back come to a neutral space, letting it all align throughout the spine. Slowly but surely, allowing the legs to now extend forward, coming into Shavasana, corpse pose. You're welcome to remain here. You're also welcome to find any modifications or adaptations of a resting shape. That could be rolling on your side, coming into a seated meditation. Any posture that makes you feel connected, safe, present, that can help you find ease, relaxation, and rest. I'll give you a moment to find that if you're still exploring. As you find your final shapes, I invite you to bring your awareness into the center of the forehead. And from that place, let it float up to the crown of the head. Trace the back of your own body from the back of the head, back of the neck, shoulders, upper back, back of the arms, mid-back, lower back and hips, back of the thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles of the feet, toes, tops of the feet, ankles, shins, kneecaps, thighs, front of the hips, lower abdomen, navel, waist, rib cage, chest, heart center, throat, jaw, tip of the nose, center of the forehead once more. In your mind's eye, I invite you to formulate a short positive phrase, your mantra, your sankalpa, rooted in how you like to welcome this next round, this next year, this next cycle of your own life. Rest now. For one more minute in silence. ready to receive what's yours. This moment is to give you what you've cultivated within. So if you're ready, I invite you to notice where your awareness is. Where are your thoughts? See if you can scan or attune to the environment, the room and the place that you are in through your senses. What can you hear, smell, perceive through the skin, taste? If you flutter your eyes open, what is the first thing you see in your own space of practice? Can you look at whatever that is with the eyes of complete innocence, as if you're looking at it for the first time? Even if it's just a blank wall, what details can you receive? As you feel ready, maybe moving the body slowly, wiggling fingertips and toes, allowing larger movements to come that feel good, whether your eyes remain open or they close back up. And in your own unique time, I invite you to slowly roll into one side and eventually push and rise up to your own final closing seat. As you arrive there, I invite you to carry a soft gaze to the ground or fully close the eyes and invite the mind to settle at the heart space. Maybe placing hands there can be helpful. And as you connect to yourself in this moment, noticing the effects of your own practice and what you've cultivated here today, along with me, along with the many others that are practicing with you. I invite you to extend a wave of gratitude for the world, for the people in them. Because we are all each a puzzle piece that are needed in the world, so that we can take shape, form, momentum. As you feel that gratitude expanding and covering the entire face of the earth, let it wrap around the globe and return to the place where you are in right now. Draw that gratitude for yourself, for exactly who you are, for your uniqueness, the greatness that you carry, all emanating from the soul inside. bow down to that light within us. Namaste. Om Tat Sat.